One of the pontiff's most iconic moments happened when the world was forced indoors. In March of 2020, everything shut down. Thousands were dying by the day as medical personnel tried to figure out the deadly virus that was quickly spreading. But amid the chaos was Pope Francis, bringing the light of Christ to the people of God. It was a stunning sight, Pope Francis walking through an empty St. Peter's Square. It was March 27, 2020, just 2 weeks after the coronavirus was declared a global pandemic, when the Holy Father made history at the Vatican, giving an Urbi et Orbi blessing while standing alone in this iconic square as the faithful took part virtually. This blessing is usually reserved for special occasions like Easter, Christmas, and the election of a new pope. But an exception was made on this day as Pope Francis led an extraordinary moment of prayer, praying for an end to the coronavirus.
Abbiamo proseguito imperterriti, pensando di rimanere sempre sani in un mondo malato. Ora, mentre stiamo in mare agitato, ti imploriamo. Svegliati, Signore.
The stunning gesture from the Pope during a time of uncertainty and fear across the globe was a way for the Holy Father to connect with the faithful spiritually, despite the quarantine, church closures, and lack of sacraments. Pope Francis closely watched as the pandemic developed. Italy was one of the countries hardest hit, with nearly 1,000 deaths every day. Just days before this special blessing, an Italian priest living in the same guest house that Pope Francis called home tested positive for the virus. During daily masses, the Pope prayed for people living in fear.
Preghiamo oggi per tanta gente che non riesce a reagire e rimane spaventata per questa pandemia. Che il Signore li aiuti a alzarsi, a reagire per il bene di tutta la società, di tutta la comunità.
And each day he would pray for a different group, from the sick to those caring for them, journalists covering the pandemic, and people living on the streets.
Preghiamo oggi per coloro che sono senza fissa dimora in questo momento, dove ci chiede di essere dentro casa.
But the Pope didn't just offer prayers during the pandemic. He jumped into action. He sent desperately needed ventilators to hospitals in Italy and set up an emergency fund to help those suffering from the pandemic. The Holy Father was the first to contribute, making a $750,000 donation. Pope Francis also encouraged the faithful to get the vaccine, calling it an ethical duty. And he led by example, as both he and Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI were vaccinated. The Pope even took part in a video campaign urging people to protect themselves as an act of love for others.
Vacunarse es un modo sencillo pero profundo de promover el bien común y de cuidarnos unos a otros, especialmente los más vulnerables. Le pido a Dios para que cada uno pueda aportar su pequeño grano de arena.
Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti, anchor of Currents News. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button on this video. And if you want to see more content just like it, subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, because we are putting your faith in the news.